Good evening, good evening, and good evening all over again. I think we're going to have some issues with the microphone. I need to quickly fix that. Let me zoom it out. Hello. Um, hello. I think it's better now. Uh, I must say, one man business has always uh, come up with this problem of not knowing everything. Even though some people will say, since all this number of years, but somebody you still don't know onions. Yes, I would say yes. I still don't get it right. But as you can see, I have quickly fixed the echo. I have a couple of shows that the echo was a problem, but that was about 200 years ago. So I now know how to fix little things. I'm expecting my guest tonight. Um, I have a couple of issues, matters arising to discuss with him, to chat about, and to get his views, his ideas. But what is I've had him a couple of times before. He is a graduate of economics and agriculture from Obafemi Awolowo, and he is also a political activist. He's a public and political affairs commentator. So tonight I'm expecting to have Mr. Segun Daniel as my guest. So we have a lot to discuss. As usual, it's going to be on and about Nigeria and Yoruba land. To start with, I want to welcome you all to my page, to my show, to my TV. It's been a while. I have chosen not to be on every day on TV or every day on talk show. I have chosen to go jelenke, just jejely. And jejely for me means that I want to do things when I want to do it. Not that I want to put anybody under pressure or even put myself under pressure. Um, a friend was talking to me not long ago when she asked me and said, what exactly have you been doing regularly? So, well, number one, let me start by saying, acknowledging that uh, my adopted country is paying me to rest, to enjoy the remaining part of my life in peace, and in the process, provided for me basic things of life that I need. So I have in between, I think I have my guest. My guest is just coming now. Decided to the stream. Yes, that is the Mr. Segun Daniel I'm talking about. You must have seen him before. Segun Daniels, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Nigerians, and good evening, everyone watching this program. I'm delighted to be invited to this program.
Thank you very much. I must also admit that many people that have seen you before, they will recollect that you have taken part in one or two or three of my shows, and so you're not going to be too much a stranger to them. Tonight, I want to start by asking you to please again, despite that we've been through this show before, to introduce yourself.
My name is Daniel Olusegun Oseni. Um, I'm a graduate of agric economics from IFE, and I did financial economics at Leeds Metropolitan University, and I'm currently a social analyst, political analyst, a social commentator, and I work in England now.
Thank you. Before I continue, I want to do what others do, and by asking our viewers to please like this show by subscribing to it, by helping us to share the show to others who might like to watch this show, because I can guarantee you there are a lot we are going to discuss tonight, and there are also a lot of information bundles that are going to be taken away from this show. I also plan not to stay too long on the show, because we'll be going pram on some of the items I want to discuss. So by the time we finish, I'm sure you start phoning me and say, Otuba, bring this guy again. We need to hear from him. I am not patronizing him, but I can tell you for free that I know who he is, and I can also tell you for free that he knows his own. Let me start by saying you can also join in the conversation, but that is when I open the gate or the door or the studio. So you can call on 07368 465 054. That is the number to the studio. Let me repeat, plus 447368 465 054. But that is when I ask you to please, you can call in. And also, you can also send comments. I have said it, you can send comments. Please be reasonable. I am not going to entertain, because I'm not a blogger. I'm not one of those people who will just talk anything. Any information that is disseminated to you are very, very valuable. They are very important information that you can take advantage of it and use it. Not be today. So let's get started, Mr. Oseni. Recently, there are a couple of things I want to bits and pieces that have been going on. Let's start with slapping. Slapping. Now that is now we now have I mean, and I'm told that there's a forum or a group of platform where slappers can join. Starting from the former ambassador to Spain, the wife of Ojukwu, who had slapped a fellow woman, but even though that is long. But from all look of things, it looks like slapping has now become a culture, you know. And all this all together, I must say, when we talk of slapping, of recent added to slapping spree, is a son of the legend Fela Ransome Kuti. I know Fela Ransome Kuti very, very well, because he's one of his closest lawyer friend, later Lawa Kabashorun. We've gone there, seeing regular, and most of the time, really, he's half naked. And that's scarce. He was showing people now recently. I saw it myself. So maybe because Sean was still like he thought like he was still a baby, he didn't see that. He didn't see how that scar got to his father's back. Segun, what do you want to talk? What do you want to say about the? I don't want to use supporting anything. I don't want to use behavior. I don't want to use this. What's your take on that slapping business?
Well, I think it's a lot of emotions that have been dissipated around that event. One, I do not have the full detail of the incident, except what I have seen so far on the social media. However, decorum couldn't have allowed Sheung to have taken self-help in remedy whatever injuries he might have suffered in the hand of that policeman. But since the matter is in court at the moment, I think it would be prejudiced for anyone to offer one way or the other how it is going to end. I believe the fact that it's even arraigned before the court of law will be somewhat of an a tepid information for him to realize that he lives in a society where it is governed by law, that there are certain things you probably don't do, or the extent to which you can declare your rights or your privileges. So he might have an understanding out of that process. That's what I wish he will learn a lesson all about it. If peradventure he get away with it, the process should be enough a lesson for him. That's what I hope. But by and large, I don't think it is something that needs to be celebrated. It is, I mean, his action as viewed in the video, I've seen in the video footage. Under no circumstances should battering, slapping, endangering other people's life in any form or whatever should be allowed. If anything whatsoever, that one party feel aggrieved or feel injured by the action of another, you should seek a redress in an arbitration, either formally or informally, whichever that you choose. But peculiarly, I think there needs to be some orientation with our people. This is coming from my personal experience. Even while I was in Nigeria, I was involved in a motor accident. What is it called? A trailer ran into my vehicle, and my approach to the matter kind of gave me a nostalgia about how things are handled in Nigeria. I have been like that too, but I think having lived abroad changed my perspective about certain things. Vehicular accident. Yeah. If you have any vehicle, if you have cars, any automobile whatsoever, by law, you are expected to insure it. If there is any accident resulting out of that, your insurance company actually are the first port of call to intervene. It is not to engage in fisticuffs that is going to solve anything. If you need your vehicle repaired, if you suffered personal injury, whatever, you can make all those claims on your insurance company. It needs not aggravated to an extent where you have to put your hands on fellow person just because you seek a redress. It does not fly. That I think most Nigerians should understand. That vehicular accident, that's why it's called an accident. It's unexpected, it's unprepared for, it could happen at any time. And that's why he pays a premium to be protected against such. So if it does happen to you, it's not resolving it on the streets, creating unnecessary bottleneck in the traffic, or shouting to each other, or breaking bottles, neither holding and engaging in fisticuffs. That will resolve it. The insurance companies needs to be contacted. You can exchange policy number and let your insurance company take correct measures in redressing whoever
So
that.
the slapping was unnecessary. It's uncalled for.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
Without prejudice to the case in court, anyway.
Yeah, we both agree on that. Now, again, like I said, I'll be taking you on about little issues that matter that I think an ordinary Nigeria want to say. Why now? Borrowing, lastminute.com, the huge amount of money. Who will be paying for that? Is that the incoming government or the outgoing government will make provision to how that's going to be repaid? What's the take as economist?
Well, I mean, the recent pronouncement that the near-ending administration of Muhammadu Buhari want to take a loan of 800 million naira and then disbursed it in tranche payments, cash payment, transfer payment to Nigerians to cushion whatever will be the outcome or after effect of subsidy removal. I think there are a lot of issues around there. One, if the Minister of Finance is a cohort in this matter, I doubt our competence. And anybody who is associated with economic management that is advising the president, I doubt their competence as well. I do not know where people take loan for showambe, kind of.
Mm. I must apologize. There's kind of break in transmission. I'm sure my guest will be back with us within a minute or so. I must also say that what the problem could be, I don't know. But I'm expecting him to be back with us within a short period of time. As I was speaking with my guest, like I said to you, I want to talk on and about little big matters that matters to Nigerians. And then from there, I'll be taking him on some other international issues that has relevance to our day-to-day life as a Nigerian. And most importantly, I'll be talking with him about the campaign, and campaign for Yoruba Nation. Hold on. I am on. Hello, I'm on a live program. You need to call me back, please. What's it called? Press here, link to try again. Oh, close it. No, what you, okay, I will just, sorry about that. I think there's a situation with my guest uh, mobile phone, but I can assure you it's not Taiwan. Something must have gone wrong. I must say, nothing to hide. Is my nephew's son, and we have this problem with his phone. Even though as much as he has so much in his head, he always tried not to do what he has to do immediately. So he should have fixed the phone. But I'm saying this, I have nothing to hide. I mean, it's part of the show. Right, I'm going to have him to continue with the program in another format. When I ask the questions, he'll be speaking to the mic and you can hear him. So please help me resend the IV out and ask people to join us, to like, subscribe, and most importantly, I need more subscribers. Now, let me now, Segun, can you hear me where you are?
Yes, I can.
Okay. The problem of borrowing, I don't want to take too much of our time on it, but you have just started by telling us that it's ridiculous. It's not. It doesn't make sense for the outgoing government to start asking for so much amount of money when they have only a couple of hours to go. So, just one more minute. What do you want to tell our listeners, our viewers?
Uh, the issue actually is bothering so much about ethics, rather. It's not so much about the law or whatever. It's so much has to do with ethics. Does it fly in the face of current situation in Nigeria that the, the administration have loaded the nation with massive amount of debt? And here he's proposing to have another debt for just giving it out to people. I mean, how do you take loan? I've never heard of any financial instrument, any facility, credit facility that is taken for people to go and have lunch, breakfast, and dinner.
Mm.
Then, I mean, how do you sustain or repay such loan? I don't know what they have told the creditor that you will repay the loan. You know that you know what the money I wanted to take is just to dash people money. It's irrecoverable, but for some reason I'll find a way to pay you. So that to me seems very ridiculous and ridiculous. We are where we are. My only advice I could give the incoming administration, if it can be done, is the incoming administration on its own to contact the World Bank, not necessarily having any such discussion with this current administration, because it has taken its own position that I want to take this loan. So they can contact World Bank and say, you see, here I am, I'm coming in the next couple of weeks, and I really would love to review what is involved in this loan. Can you stay action in disbursing it so that when I come, I can have a proper, adequate look at it, whether it will be sufficient, whether it is even too much, and the procedure to which I want to use it for. You get it? If I need to tinker with how I will have to apply it. Particularly, we all know this is not rocket science, that the first port of call of the withdrawal of subsidy, the impact mostly is on transportation. We don't drink PMS, we don't drink kerosene, we don't drink diesel. It is not food. We only use them to power engines, particularly automobile, to power transport system, to move from one point to the other. And if this subsidy is removed, there is going to be a hike in fare of all transport system. Transport logistics is going to cost heavily. So the focus, the bedrock of this whole thing is not to hand over money to people. It's how to safeguard that sector. Transport. How to make sure that it will still be affordable for Nigerians in spite of removing. I think the money can be best invested in that sector rather than saying we are handing cash to people who are a fraction of the nation. They have not even told us who these people are. One, they are even letting us know that they are just a miniature fraction of the total population. That in itself is discriminatory.
So when the populace supposed to be, the census is showing 200 million,
yes,
and then how do you
say that you want to give only
what are
10
the
10 million
parameter, what are the factors to use to select?
So, it smells rotten.
Thank you. Well, again, I quickly want to go. You talk about incoming administration. For you, incoming administration, what do you think should be expectations of an average Nigerian? Because as we speak, we have an incoming, I mean, an elected president, which any which way anybody want to say it, there cannot be a vacuum in governance anywhere in the whole world. Even if there's an intervention in any form of it, there cannot be vacuum. So any which way, 29th of May of this month, we usher in another government under the leadership of Ashwe. So what will you think should be an average expectation of an average Nigerian?
Well, I have lived in Nigeria well enough. I was in Nigeria recently, in fact, as recent as during the time of the election. And I can feel the pulse of the Nigerians. I can feel the agitation and the massive expectation of the people regarding what they wanted government to do. But there is a note of caution here. The note of caution that I have is sometimes people wish things they really don't desire. And that is very, very prevalent in Nigeria. And on that ground is where I want to give, whether to see my, it will be sufficient to say it's my opinion and not an advice to the incoming administration, that managing the expectations of Nigeria, particularly the problem facing Nigerians today, are first and foremost economical. It is economical that is devolving into loss of values, social breakdown, and political crisis. If economy of the nation can be fixed, and when I mean economy of the nation can be fixed, I mean the three most important things to human being can be made accessible, affordable, and available, which is food, clothing, and shelter. If those are available, including, which is very, very, very close and symbiotic with them, is issue of education and healthcare.
And healthcare. I agree with that, yeah.
Yes. Those two are symbiotically magnet to what I've said.
To good governance.
Yes. If that can be assured, and in the economic management or economic improvement, power supply will pay energy. Let me say power. Energy in terms of reviving our refineries, in terms of stable power delivery. Those are the things that will galvanize the economy. However, they can do all that, have a magical one, deliver on their promises of boosting the economy. There is another part to it, which is an intrigue. That's in my own opinion, which is the status of Nigeria's social fabric. I have seen where the issue of street urchins, which we call agbero, and the layabout, which sometimes consider themselves as omnile or landowners, they are pervading all around the country, not only restricted to Lagos or whatever. I've seen it in Delta, in Bayelsa, in eastern part of it, as well as extending up to the northern part of the country. So, what I mean by this explanation is this: if there is available job,
For instance, if the government decided that our intervention is to create massive jobs, that means investment in labor-intensive job creation. Technology today is driving the world economy, but we are a latecomer to technology, so we can as well face reality and be objective to ourselves that for now, we will not be technologically driven. We will be labor-intensive driven. We can deliver. This labor itself will research and develop the technology of the future that we need. It's not an wholesome importation of the technology that will help us. But once we started putting our people to work in labor-intensive economic planning, then the technology will follow. Because alongside it, there will be research and training for people who are to be engaged. So if the government decide we want a labor-intensive economic reform, my fear, I'm someone who does not want to give in for fear though, but my fear in this regard is, if you have a job, there is a massive vacancy of opportunities for people to enroll. In economics, one of the biggest factor of production that is very, very, very special in all the four factors of production is labor. Because its characteristics is such that you need to seek the consent of labor before you can engage it. And therefore, in employment, we describe some employment as somebody who willingly does not want to work. Employment does not mean the absence of vacancy for job. But some people are looking for certain kind of job, which if does not meet their expectation, they will decide not to be engaged in economic activities. So we could, if we lose our sight on the ball, have these three touchings. Who knows, in a week I can make 300,000 naira in just 1 week. Why do I need to take up a job where I will be paid 100,000 naira in a month? There's no incentive for that job to be taken up. So the government could go ahead or encourage private sector to deliver on job opportunities. But if the willingness of the people to take such job does not arise, then we are not doing anything. Or we could be making motions without movement. So my advice would be, the incoming administration should pari passu, same time as they are proposing, if they accept my proposal though, that we should manage a labor-intensive economic reform. They must come down very heavily on activities such as agro, so that it does not become an incentive for others to say, I'm not going to work to make this project. I would rather take this job where I will take home every day 50,000, 20,000 naira. As well as try to be homonile, and just the whole idea of this class that I have mentioned is an extortion. So the government needs to face it squarely, that even if I might have benefited from it in one way or the other, or I'm aware of it and having it difficult to deal with, this time I'm going to put my foot down and deal squarely with it. That this must come to an end. It only takes the political willingness, the political strength to do it. If we lose sight of the ball, then we are going to be running helter-skelter. That needs to be done while we progress on creating a massive labor-intensive job.
All right.
So that is my submission regarding an advice for the incoming administration.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I hope this message eventually will get to the authority, will get to the incoming government, that they can take advantage of experience, erudite information, experience, knowledge you have for them to that can be used. We're still going to stay within the incoming government. It's still not. I use the word in different forum where I said election have been conducted, but it has not been concluded, but it has not been completed. So, what? Yeah, sorry. You know that what I mean by that is that the case, the issue of the tribunal is yet to determine what is going to happen with the election.
Yes.
What again? We need to be very careful here. I mean, with your knowledge of law, I know how good you are also in law. The case is before the tribunal, vis-a-vis before the court.
Yes.
What is your immediate reaction? What is your no more immediate reaction again? What because we have reacted many times. What do you think? What do you think we can, by not breaking the law, what do you think can be said about this ongoing election matter?
Well, as you rightly put it, the election has been conducted. It has been concluded,
but not completed.
but not completed.
Yes.
Because part of the whole arrangement of the electoral process is if anybody found any grievance in the conduct of the election, they have a right to appeal to a court for redress.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately, when the election result was declared, some mischief makers turned into a kind of street circus. When they told them go to the court, they started spreading a different narrative about such opinion. I wonder whether the players or the parties were unaware that there is a provision that if you feel infringed, if you feel cheated, if you feel if you feel injured in any way by the process or procedure of the election, then you have an opportunity to seek redress in court. This shouldn't be news to any of the political players. However, the way they went about it in the street media or the court of public nuance was to castigate that opinion, that idea of go and seek redress. Eventually, I think common sense prevailed on them, and now they have approached the tribunal to seek for their redress. But in doing so, I still find it a bit laughable that they still engaging in the drama of the streets and the social media, as if there is a parallel court going on, as regard what they have tabled before the court and what they want the opinion to be swayed of. Without prejudice to the tribunal, yes, the matters and facts and evidence will be placed before the tribunal, and it is for the tribunal to make decision. In fact, the Constitution equally provides that if they still feel aggrieved, they can appeal that decision up to the Supreme Court.
And the Supreme Court will have how many days to?
The Supreme Court has 60 days.
Okay. So in between, there will have been a kind of a government in place.
No, nothing is stopping the inauguration. You see, that's why I said they are creating a different jurisdiction for the trial, where they now campaigning the inauguration should not be blah blah blah. All of the players, all the politicians, all the parties involved knew that this is the process, that given the provision of the Constitution, which stipulate that after the election outcome, if you feel aggrieved, you can go to court, that the appeal court, which will entertain the presidential election, has 180 days for sitting. They are all aware If they are ignorant of it, then they should seek a legal advice. Yeah, they cannot visit their ignorance on the population or be playing hide and seek about it. They knew, and from the time the election ended and the result was declared, and the time they will go to court, May 29 is not 180 days from then. So they know that May 29 will take place for whoever that was declared the winner. So coming to jump and said, you know what, let's shift the goalpost, to me is the service to the nation.
All right.
He's playing hide and seek and being half truthful.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr.
Their lawyers are aware of it either as well. So I actually feel that the lawyers, well, they are learned fellow, and yes,
I was waiting to hear that you are also indirectly part of it.
Yeah.
So
they know that this is what is obtainable in the court of law. This is what is going on there. It's unfortunate they are not intervening in what those who are the follower of their clients are doing to disseminate wrong information, misinform, and abuse information and disinform the people. You get it? So
yeah,
that's the unfortunate part of it.
Thank you very much, Mr.
May 29 is evidently very
sacrosanct.
President, pardon me.
Yeah.
The president that is about to leave office, I've shown every indication that he does not even wish to spend
1 minute,
an hour. Yes,
1
second longer.
Okay.
Today, somebody said whether he's so agitated either to return to Daura, Kaduna, or even Niger, because
he'll be a free man to do whatever, or he wants to go to Dubai to go and meet his wife there, whatever. Now, I want to thank you. I want to thank you very much, Mr. Segun Daniel Oseni. I have a long list of areas which I want to take you on to, again, like I said, to roll out more information. And I will not be able to, I just want to do it bit by bit. There's still going to be another meeting between you and I and this studio. And we'll be talking in the future about the powers, the presidential orders, the way to who knows whether we are going to get Gorbachev of ourselves in Africa. Who knows? Because people say the taste of the pudding is in the eating.
Yes.
If we have a leader who is ready to raise the bar, who wants to call the shot, who wants to say, you know what, all I owe anybody is just one job. I want to do what I have to do. I have to redeem. I have to fix so many things, which is all possible, doable. I'll be taking you on that. So for more information, I will also be taking you on reforms and also about other aspects of governance, economic, social, and so on and so forth. So I want to thank you very much for having you. Yeah, and about you also about Yoruba Nation. Thank you very much. I'll be taking you on that also. Yoruba Nation will be also a substantial part of the next meeting when we'll be discussing how far, how much we've done, how far we can go, and so on and so forth. So, and I can assure whenever we could be in maybe another 24 hours or 48 hours, there'll be a properly working telephone, because we have issue, and I've said I've not hidden anything from anybody. It was the problem we had was with, it's not the studio, it was with my guest telephone device, and that's been going on for a period of time.
I have to apologize to your viewers that unfortunately my device developed a fault in the middle of the interview. It's work in progress. By next time, apparently that will be sorted out.
And knowing who I am, I don't want to hide and seek anything. I have exposed you already that this phone needs to be fixed.
I know you have made complaints about
I've
it.
even said I hope we don't get stopped, stop and start, and they find this phone. But I'm sure with what happened tonight, you'll be fixing the phone very soon. Thank you very much
Actually,
for.
I'll be getting another.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, viewers. It's my pleasure. I'll be back with my guest to continue the discussion, and hopefully then we'll get to a point when we allow people to phone in. I want to thank few people that have commented. I want to thank Madam Odupe Lawal. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. And that's it. Final word? Do you?
My final word is we should all be prayerful for the incoming administration. We should be positive. We have no other nation but Nigeria.
For now.
Yes.
Hmm.
And we can only wish it to succeed. Yeah.
Okay.
Because in its success that we can all be joyful. So that
All
would
right.
be my take.
Thank you very much, Mr. Segun Daniel Oseni. I appreciate you. So, folks, that's it for now. And I will be giving you minimum 24 hours notice that I'll be appearing on my page, my TV station. Thank you, and bye-bye.